If you are here, it's probably not because you were just casually browsing. More than likely, it's because something inside of you finally said, I can't keep doing this. Not just the relationship, not just the person, but the cycle, the confusion, the self-doubt, the emotional exhaustion that comes from trying to love someone into being safe. See, the Trauma Bond Exit Protocol page wasn't created because people didn't understand narcissistic abuse. It was created because understanding alone was not setting empaths free. See, most survivors already know what happened to them. They know that they were gaslit. They know they were manipulated. They know that they were emotionally drained. But, and this is a huge but knowing what happened didn't tell them what to do next. And that is where so many people get stuck. See, empaths don't stay trapped because they're weak. They stay trapped because they were trained to over-explain, over-forgive, over-function, and under-protect themselves. They were taught that empathy meant endurance. So in 2026, we stopped asking a familiar question. We stopped asking, how do we explain narcissistic abuse better? And then we started asking something completely different. How do we help empaths actually leave without losing themselves in the process? Because I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't figured it out yet, leaving isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's psychological. It's nervous system deep. And in all honesty, no one was offering a map for that. There's no tour guides for that. So the exit protocol exists to answer one question. What do I do now that I see the truth? Not tomorrow, not someday, not when I'm stronger, but now. And I say now because so many empaths wake up after the damage is done and then they realize they were never taught how to exit without becoming hardened, bitter, or emotionally closed. This page was created for people who refuse to become the thing that hurt them. And if you've ever asked yourself, why do I feel stuck even though I know better? Why does leaving feel harder than staying? Why does my logic understand, but my body won't let go? You're not broken. You were just never given the exit strategy. Only explanations. And explanations don't help. You already know what the heck you went through. You already understand this shit show. But you know what? That changes here. So what the Trauma Bond Exit Protocol is and what it refuses to be. Let me be very, very clear about this. The Exit Protocol is not a quick fix. It's not a motivational speech, and it's not a just block them and glow up mindset. Empaths don't need more pressure to be strong. They need permission to be grounded. The Exit Protocol is a structured path designed to help empaths do 3 things in the correct order. First, regain clarity without self-blame. Second, detach without becoming emotionally numb. Third, rebuild identity without centering the abuser. See, most systems skip straight to detachment, but detachment without clarity leads to relapse, and clarity without structure leads to rumination. See, this page exists to hold all three phases together. Every part of the exit protocol was built around one truth. Empaths don't need to be fixed. They need to be re-anchored. That's why you won't find shaming language here. You won't find forced timelines. You won't find pressure to forgive faster. And most importantly, you won't find instructions to hate the narcissist. Because healing that relies on anger still centers on the abuser. This protocol recenters you. When we said the Church of Real Talk exists to help empaths break free in 2026, we didn't mean we would just give you content. We meant we would create something stable. Something you could come back to when your nervous system gets loud. When your logic starts arguing with your intuition. When you feel yourself slipping into old explanations and self-doubt. The trauma bond exit protocol is part of that promise. It is not here to rush you. It's here to keep you from abandoning yourself while you heal. So I'm going to say something right now that's going to sound just a wee bit foreign, okay? You don't need to be ready to start. You only need to be honest. Honest about your exhaustion, honest about your confusion, honest about the fact that loving harder didn't fix the situation. The exit protocol was built for that moment. And you know what? The page is not meant to be consumed in one sitting. It's meant to be revisited, paused, sat with. Some days you'll read one thing or do one thing and you will feel relief. Other days you'll realize you've outgrown a section. That is not failure. That's progress. And you know what? You'll notice something else, and something that's very intentional. Nothing on this page says you must do this now. If you haven't figured it out from that relationship, urgency is how trauma bonds are formed. Instead, the page quietly says, here are your options. You get to choose. Choice is how autonomy is restored. This is us keeping our word. Not by pushing, not by convincing, but by creating solid ground where empaths can finally stop negotiating with their own self-worth. If this page helps you take even one step back into yourself, guess what? It's doing its job. You were never meant to save anyone by disappearing. The world doesn't need more martyrs. It needs grounded people who refuse to abandon themselves. And that is the exit protocol. Not an escape from pain, a return to yourself. Stay powerful. Keep healing. And the reason why I do everything that I do, love you guys. Go visit the page.